jolly good.
Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clank Zoka. Welcome to another My Thoughts On, and today, as promised, I'll be talking about some more Christmas films. I've already done Elf, and now I'm going to do Love Actually, which is probably one of the more recognisable Christmas films out there, and it's not really a film. I would say is for the family. I would say it's about family, but it's actually rated 15. So, excuse me. I don't really know that much about the film to begin with. I know it's like insanely, and I will repeat that again, insanely popular when it comes to Christmas films. Right. Oh, excuse me. Like, it's an insanely popular Christmas film that adults really enjoy. All I know is that there's a huge cast in it. There's Alan Rickman, Hugh Grant, Emma Thompson, frickin' Keira Knightley, Colin Firth, all these big stars who starred in quite a lot of stuff similar to this. So I've watched it for the very first time, and what do I think about it? Well, well, let's find out. There isn't too much I can say about it because believe it or not, there's quite a lot that happens in this film right here. But I can tell you for one thing, there are lots of subplots in the film, or plots I suppose. They all have one thing in common, and that is Christmas, sort of, and love. So you've got the Prime Minister, played by Hugh Grant, who's in love with one of the secretaries at Downing Street. You've got Alan Rickman, who's kind of got a thing for one of his work colleagues. You've got Bill Nye being this very stereotypical drunk and being a slightly insane song artist. Colin Firth is with this exchange student or woman as well. I'm trying to think of what. Oh yeah, there's a guy that goes to America to get more babes, I suppose. And Keira Knightley is married to. Ah, fuck, I can't pronounce his name. From 12 Years a Slave, basically, the main actor, I should say, from 12 Years of Slave. And, oh, and Liam Neeson's in it too. Like, fucking hell, like I said, big. Fucking huge cast as well. Lauren Linney's in it as well. Martin Freeman, Jonah Page from Gavin and Stacey. God, it's such a good cast, but a very, very. But there's a lot of recognisable names, which is it's insane. Rowan Atkinson as well, just insane. So I'll get to the film's biggest problem, and that is there is too much going on. And I guess they all have something to do with love, but maybe get rid of a few, because if you only stuck with a couple, it would have been fine. But since there's too much, and even at points I did kind of forget what was going on in the first place. It did kind of lose me a little bit. So a few of them I did find interesting, like with the Prime Minister and Billy Mack as well, and Alan Rickman's part and Liam Neeson's. Some of the others, like with Keira Knightley and and stuff with Laura Linney was Colin Farrell's plot was just nothing special, really. Honestly, some of these could easily be cut out, and it would probably make a bigger difference. I think, anyways. However, the thing that does save the writing from being completely unfocused is its execution. I think this is an incredibly funny British film. As well, there's lots of great lines here and there, especially from Bill Nighy, who's awesome as always. When it gets dramatic, that's done well, and there are a lot of scenes where characters would kiss and have sex, and there are scenes, literally, of the actresses, one or two actresses who are start naked. Never thought I'd see that in a Christmas film, because when I think Christmas film, I think naked bodies. Oh, the irony. The film is slightly over 2 hours long, and yeah, there are. Excuse me. There are points where I think there are some plots that doesn't have that much focus, and then others have too much focus. It's rather unbalanced. This is why I said if it got rid of a few plot lines, it actually would have made more and more sense. Because if it didn't, then it would be very messy, and that's pretty much what the film is. It is just an incredibly messy film. But it does have heart, it does have good comedy, and it is interesting, and it even reminded me of like British sitcom shows like Peep Show and Spaced and all that. That was a good thing, because I liked those shows, and this did feel very similar to those at one point anyways. So, yeah, I think this is a pretty well executed comedy. Like I said, it can be a little all over the place, and it does lose focus of what the hell it's supposed to, you know, do, but it has good comedy that's funny enough, and it has good emotional stuff, and it is rather entertaining as well. It's a very entertaining looking, a film in general. So despite being all over the place, I think the story, the writing, the comedy, and the charm really works to the film's advantage. And I even like the opening and ending scenes. It's rather lovely too. So at least it's going in the right step in terms of making something that's nice. Just, just nice. Characters. Oh no, I haven't got there yet. No, not yet. Visuals. This film came out in 2003, and it looks like a film from the early 2000s slash late 90s. And to its credit, it looks good. It really does. It's not an awful looking film, but it looks nice. It's got really good cinematography, and it looks very pretty, and it does have a Christmas feel and spirit to it as well, which really, really works as well. So yeah, I think it's a legit wonderful looking film. Even if it's just in London, and London, I don't know about you, but London's a very nice area when it comes to um. Oh God, am I gonna yawn again? No, I'm fine. Fine. Yeah, I bloody yawned. Like in London, what was I gonna say? In London, when it's Christmas, it is rather nice actually. So there's not really much I can complain, except it's a very average looking romance comedy, but it looks nice. It is a very nice looking film. And that's it. That's all I've got to say, really. it could look a little dated because they have like old phones and iPhones weren't a thing to my knowledge, anyways, not yet. So yeah, it's a nice looking film. Characters and acting. The characters I think are highly memorable in terms of personality and comedy, but just some are rather forgettable and again really not all that memorable at all. So it's kind of like the other way around in a way. So you've okay. I'm not going to say their names because there are too many celebrities here. I'm just going to, uh, refer to them by who they are. So obviously Hugh Grant is the president. Is the president, sorry, Prime Minister of uh, of England, and I think he's rather charming in typical Hugh Grant fashion. Same can be said about Alan Rickman, Colin Firth as well. Liam Neeson is rather likable. Laura Linney, I don't know what it is with me and oh god, how do I put this? I'm not a big fan when British films have American actors or actresses, and don't get me wrong, she is good in the film, like really, really, really good. But it feels a bit too American. There's like a few other actors, other like American actors and actresses who are all in it as well. It feels weird, but she does a good job. And also Carl, who's played by, I'm going to try and find his name before I fuck it up. Rodrigo Santoro from Rio, where he plays Tulio. He's quite good in it as well. Emma Thompson's always she's a delight, and her character is actually overly dramatic, but also rather calm, but also can't control herself. Um, Rowan Atkinson's in it for once. Actually, he was in two scenes, and he actually delivered a really funny scene, and that was like my favourite part, especially when Harry, played by Alan Rickman, was getting something for Mia, and then he's taken a long time to get. So Emma Thompson said to him, just wander around for 10 minutes, and then Rowan Atkinson's trying to wrap up the necklace away, and it's quite funny in just how long he's doing it. And Rowan Atkinson, he's always, you know, Rowan Atkinson's always good at what he does, and everyone else like Martin Freeman, Jonah Page, and Chiwetel. I can't pronounce his second name. Keira Knightley, Colin Firth. They all do good jobs. I think they're all. They're, most of them do kind of play their parts as just being themselves, but they do it in a good way. But my favourite character is Billy Mack, played by the wonderful, wonderful Bill Nye. And I think he is an absolute delight. I think he's one of my favourite actors of all time, and he is amazing in anything I've seen. Well, at least anything I've seen him in. Even if his role's not big or not particularly huge, if it's like a very small role, anything, he will instantly just make me smile because he's just a really charming and really likable actor. And here, he's hilarious, especially with him being a a singer, and he has this album, like this song that's supposed to be like Christmas #1, and the opening when he tries to record the song is just fucking hilarious. And the acting from everyone, like I said, I think they all do a really good job, especially Bill Nye, Colin Firth. Hugh Grant, Alan Rickman. I think Keira Knightley did a good job too. I think they all do a really good job. Although now and then I do think they do kind of get into their roles like sometimes their performances can be a little too. Oh, that's something that Emma Thompson would say, or that's something that Liam Neeson would do. I mean, it's still good, but it's like, yeah, it does feel like these roles were made for these people. So the characters, you can say they're relatable, they're funny, they got hearts, and they're all got good personalities and good chemistry. But the acting is honestly what makes them stand out even more, I think. On a side note, the score by I'm gonna try and look up. I think it's Craig Armstrong. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Craig Armstrong, who I believe, um, I think he did this. Oh, yeah, he did. He did the score for the one and only Ivan, which came out this year, and that's actually a film I really, really enjoyed. His score here is actually rather lovely, and especially scenes where two characters confess their love. The same score, like a little piece of score, is repeated just a little bit, but it's nicely repeated, at least in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I think this is a really good film. Not perfect, but you know what? I really liked it. Love Actually, I think, is probably one of the better Christmas films I have seen. I think it has good heart. It has very good comedy. It's awkward. It's touching. It's entertaining. It's a very nicely shot and very well put together Christmas film. The acting is fantastic, and all the characters are likable and rather charming. And the score is also beautiful. If you haven't seen it, and if you're a fan of romance Christmas films, and they do exist, I do recommend this. It's really good. And comparing this to Elf and Last Christmas, this is easily better than both of them. Last Christmas was fine, didn't like it too much. Elf was, it was decent, but this was like legit great. And I know this will be a film I would watch every Christmas because it's just that funny and that charming, especially in that Christmas and British sort of a way. I'll say 9 out of 10. Not one of my personal favourites, or at least my personal favourite, but I'd say top 5. Yeah, top 5, why not? So yeah, Love Actually, that was a really pleasant surprise, at least for me. Such a good film. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. It is actually really, really good. Yeah, I'm glad I actually I'm glad I watched it. So good. What am I going to do next? Well, that's for you to find out. So, if you have seen Love Actually, and I actually haven't seen Red Nose Day actually, which came out like 4 years ago. I need to watch that too. But anyways, if you have seen the film, what do you think about it? Is it good, bad, decent? Do you want to see it? Let me know below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And until next time, it's love, actually. Well, actually, it's love. I don't know why I'm doing this fucking joke, because I'm a bored man trying to make comedy. Yeah.